Michigan, Iowa, high noon Saturday homecoming game. The number 19 Wolverines versus Iowa. We are offering you the opportunity to win $25 for knowing Michigan football better and faster than anybody else. Go ahead and predict the score below in the comments. Let us know who wins. So 24-14 doesn't cut it. You got to say, 38-0 Michigan, whatever it is. Whoever is the first person to correctly predict the score, I will Venmo you next week $25. From our pockets to yours here at the Michigan Football Report. All right, a little more than 24 hours until Michigan's fifth game of the year against Iowa, their second-ranked opponent in Big Ten play. I have got some insight on what to expect out of this offense now that Josh Gattis and the Wolverines are back to full health, except for Zach Charbonnet. We all know what's going on there. And they feel a little more comfortable about what they're doing with Gattis on the field. How about Donovan Peoples-Jones in motion? We're going to go deep into what we mean by motion, some orbit motion. I'm giving this one 3 Harbaugh heads. Now, I'll tell you how I know this, folks. You ever seen the movie Wall Street? If you want to get information, there's kind of 2 ways to get information. Sometimes people just tell you things. Sometimes you got to go extreme measured. I went and I bought the Ann Arbor maid service, amazing maid service that cleans the Michigan football offices. I bought them, now owned by Yoder, and we installed surveillance cameras at Schembecker Hall, so I know everything that's going on with the offense. All right, I want to talk about this orbit motion with Donovan Peoples-Jones. It's a concept that you'd only see schools like Texas Tech running in the past, but it's become very commonplace around college football, and Josh Gattis ran a little bit against Rutgers with DPJ. We saw it against, I think it was Army with Giles Jackson, but now it is becoming a bigger staple of the offense, and they're introducing a very, I think, aggressive RPO level of play calling with it. So the orbit motion is when the slot receiver goes in motion. It doesn't just kind of come across either behind the quarterback when they're under the center or in front of the quarterback in shotgun. They actually kind of take a big step backwards and go around the back of the quarterback and the running back there. Allows the wide receiver to kind of get some momentum going and sometimes get the right angle they need to catch a swing pass out of the backfield, potentially with an advantageous matchup if they get one-on-one with maybe a linebacker or a corner or safety that's kind of coming across the line with them who is going lateral. When that player catches the ball, they could be full speed going vertical. So the RPO action of this is they saw some things last week that said either we can hit Peoples-Jones, he's going to be open, or he's going to have a really advantageous matchup when he catches the ball. He can make a move and take a little bit. Or if the linebackers and the cover guys, if they bite on the fake handoff to DPJ or sometimes a fake pitch or toss to him, it opens up the opportunity to hand the ball off to the running back out of the backfield with a lot of space in front of him. Peoples-Jones got back into the game plan with 4 catches for 62 yards against Rutgers, and I expect more of the same. I think as he gets healthier and as Shea Patterson and Josh Gattis feel more comfortable with what they're trying to do, and Gattis is able to talk to the wide receivers, linebackers, running backs, quarterbacks on the field after every down or drive, you're going to see more creativity and more highly executed play. So keep an eye out for this one. If Peoples-Jones go in motion and right before you expect him to go in front of the quarterback, he cuts behind him and goes in motion, you're either going to see one of 2 things. And by the way, I don't want to hear any of you guys doing this. Yoder, why are you telling Iowa what's going to happen? Okay, I'm tight with the guys from YouTube. Okay, I put a code on this video. Anyone who is an Iowa fan or any IP address in the state of Iowa, they can't access the video, guys. So we're good. We're good. Okay, we're good. I know how to get information. I know how to keep information. Okay, Iowa's blocked. It's a force field around the Michigan football report, so don't come at me with any of that. You're giving the secrets away. This is between us here in the Michigan football report. But if they can get the linebackers and safeties, corners biting on that Peoples-Jones fake, if they see them going with that one, you're going to be able to hand the ball off to a running back, maybe Charbonnet, maybe others, maybe Christian Turner, and he's going to have the opportunity to find a hole, make one guy miss, and get a much bigger play than the standard RPO option where you throw to a slant receiver if that plays open. So that is the interesting intrigue I'm expecting to see out of the offense on Saturday. But want to bring this stunning stat to you guys. It would be no surprise if you followed me on Twitter at James Yoder. You see it right here, right there. I'm going to hold this is my Twitter handle right there behind those black boxes. Go ahead and follow me. This will be no surprise to you. You'd have been the smartest guy at the bar fraternity house on Saturday before the game. he would have said 30 straight games at a 100-yard wide receiver for Michigan. But that is my stunning stat. It happened again against Rutgers. Michigan's gone now 31 straight games with a 100-yard wide receiver. Now, don't be but Zach Gentry. Don't be but Zach Gentry, guys. Zach Gentry was a tight end. It does not count, although he did have a 100-yard game last year. I'm talking about wide receivers. The last player to do it, J.U. Chesson, November of 2016. So nearly 3 years. Chesson that day had 5 catches, 112 yards, 1 touchdown. You see, 300-400-yard games in both 2015 and 16 from Michigan wide receivers. None in 17, none in 18, and none in 19. And even more surprising stat, folks, a Jim Harbaugh recruited player, wide receiver, has never had a 100-yard game at Michigan while he's the coach. He's now in his 5th year, nearing half the season. Stunning stat. I think it goes to some of the opportunities Michigan has to catch up with the rest of college football on the offensive side of the ball. And is that streak going to end against Iowa? Will Michigan have a 100-yard wide receiver versus Iowa? If it's yes, and I'm not going to vote on this one because I don't even know what to think sometimes when it comes to the wide receivers and how they're used. Insert the Hundy emoji below in the comments. If you're an avid emoji user, it's probably in your most recent. Just tap it once, boom, send. You got your votes. If not, if you say no, we're going to be lucky to get somebody at 50 yards. Whatever your take is, if it's no, type 32, which indicates we're going to extend this terrible streak to 32 games. You remember a couple years ago, from 2017 until like the second game of 2018, Michigan went 11 straight games, and I think an entire calendar year to the day almost, without having a wide receiver catch a touchdown pass for the school. So that is the question I asked you. Toss a Hundy or a 32 below in the comments. Can we break this gosh-awful streak that I don't know how Michigan got themselves involved with? The matchup is as such. The Wolverines host the 14th-ranked undefeated Iowa Hawkeyes. Start off, Michigan is a 7-point favorite. And again, I'm calling out some people who I already know the complaints that are coming. Why would Michigan be favored? Blah, blah. Guys, the whole point of betting is not to predict who's going to win the game. And sometimes they play that into. They're just trying to make the most money. Michigan has a much bigger fan base, much more interest nationally than Iowa. And sometimes that goes against them. People put money big time on Wisconsin, hurt the sports books. They didn't think Michigan had it. They assume that more fans will bet on Michigan than against them, so they get the higher number to try and even out some of the money, even if Michigan maybe is not 7 points better than Iowa, according to the metrics. The line has dropped to 3.5 points. So if you bet now, you have much better odds if you're putting money on the Wolverines than you would have on Sunday. We do our betting at the Michigan Football Report with BetDSI. Head to chatsports.com/bet. Use the promo code GOBLUE. 120% deposit bonus. What are you waiting for? I've actually asked people, some guy put on Twitter, if you're watching now, we had this conversation last night. He's asking if anyone will take his bet. He wants to put money on Michigan. And I'm just like, well, why don't you just do a BetDSI? And he's like, this, that, the other. I'm like, hey, man, promo code GOBLUE. And so you get 120% deposit bonus. He was talking about, well, what if they charge me a fee or something like that? I'm like, dude, get the bonus code, get the promo code, double your money, 120% of the money you deposit. Put 100, get an extra 120. Chatsports.com/bet. Joe Milton, did he exhibit some pro-style passing when he threw the touchdown to Giles Jackson in the fourth quarter of the game against Rutgers? I'm giving this one an FACK, fact for Harbaugh heads on this one. And Jim Harbaugh alluded it to it a little bit himself, is that the route did not call for Jackson to flag. Was it a flag or a post when you go to the out? I can't remember. It's a flag? Yeah. Yeah. Flag. See, I got the stats and research department in the back of the studio, our live studio audience, the best in the business. So Giles Jackson on this pass we're going to show you here in just a moment was supposed to just streak down the field. Joe Milton saw some open green and passed him open. So Milton takes the snap here. Jackson's just supposed to streak down the field. You see Milton, he throws it down to the side corner, left corner of the end zone. And Jim Harbaugh said afterwards, that wasn't the play. That wasn't what we called. And we're not showing the whole quote here because we haven't figured out how to show 300 or 400 words in a single graphic. So we're only showing you the best quotes coming up here. But Milton was 3 for 4, 59 yards and a touchdown. And that one touchdown to Jackson, Jim Harbaugh said that was not the route. And Harbaugh kind of alluded here on this quote that, I actually think we pulled that part out, but he did say somewhere in here that, I told my players I'm not going to get mad when they do things like that, like basically change the play. But it was not the design of the play to have Giles turn out. Giles did not break the route. Basically, Joe threw it to the open area. Joe made the adjustment. Giles adjusted his route to the throw, which was a plus by Joe, plus by Giles. What that means to me, guys, Jim Harbaugh saying that wasn't the route that was supposed to be run is, one, it was probably a bad route. I'm not sure why you're putting a guy on a streak only from 22 yards out and not giving him the opportunity to do that. But Joe Milton actually showed me something. I was not like on the Milton hype train like everybody else seems to be, because I had not seen him do it. He comes into a game, it was a lot of runs and some really hard throws that he didn't seem to understand that you don't need to throw the ball 100 miles per hour from 6 yards away. But that was a really nice pass. And I don't know if I've ever remembered a Michigan quarterback throwing a wide receiver open from the pocket. Shea Patterson will do it when he rolls out of the pocket and hits somebody on the run. But to stand in there and say, hey, you're going in the field, I look to the left, I see a lot of green. I'm just going to turn my body and toss it over there, let you go get it. Good to see from Milton. I think it shows what potential he has as a pro-style passer in the future. So good to see from Joe Milton. You saw the spread in the game, guys. You saw the variance of the line. And if you're going to get going with BetDSI, take their money and put it in your pocket. Have a few thousand or more waiting for yourself for a little Christmas bonus. Take the wife and the kids or the husband and the kids out on a trip for Christmas due to your winnings at gambling. Do it with an advantage. Use the Action Network app. You can get it going. Their subscription service, $5.99 a month, 40% off, down from the normal $10. If you use our URL, chatsports.com/deal, the exclusive offer. Find out all the trends related to every game. You're the smartest guy out there when it comes to betting sports if you use the Action Network app. I use it. No BS there. They gave us this offer to you guys. Last rumor on today's show, as we are now, what's the time is it? Okay, here the one. We're about 27 and a half hours from kickoff in Ann Arbor. Mazi Smith, by the way, full stop here. Cut the music. Don't cut the music. We're changing his name. It's no longer Mazi Smith. The young man's name going forward, John Jansen, Jim Brandstetter, Joel Klatt on the call, Mazi Smith. You can't have a guy with his name spelled M-A-Z-I and call him Mazi when the school colors are maize and blue. So we're calling him Mazi from now on. If you try and correct me, you're the one that's incorrect going forward. So two Harbaugh heads in this one. Seems like there's a lot of positivity going towards these two players. And I was told by somebody that Smith may have not been ready, whatever the heck that means. He hasn't been on the field yet this season, but he is going to be in the two deep at the D tackle, replacing Ben Mason, who has performed admirably, but it's really is out of position. You see the name change. Few can do it better than super producer Brett behind the camera. All while producing this show, he broke out Photoshop. We knew how good we are at Photoshop here at Chat Sports, and literally made this entire graphic and changed the man's name from Mazi to Mazi. Lesser men would have taken him days or hours to create this graphic. Brett in under 30 seconds. Mazi Smith, two Harbaugh heads on this one. Pretty likely. I've been surprised before with some rotations, not playing Dax Hill, not playing Cam McGrone. I don't know sometimes what lineups we see out there from Michigan. But Mazi Smith, formally changed here from the Michigan Football Report, yet to play. And Chris Hinton, who for a long time was a five-star defensive tackle. Some say defensive end, but it seems like these guys are going to go where the need is, and the inside. Playing, they need some beef in the inside. A lot of opportunity for freshmen to come in with the injuries to Michael Dwumfour, who seems to be back healthy, played last week, and with just the lack of depth, you're putting your fullback there as your backup, playing a ton of snaps in the first 3 weeks of the year. Carlo Kemp, Aiden Hutchinson, Michael Dwumfour, Kwity Paye. That's your starting lineup, assuming that all of them are healthy. Michael Dana backing up Aiden Hutchinson on the outside, and then Donovan Jeter, who I don't know what we're going to get from him. That could change. He might not play this week. Who knows? He's been injured, then he gets in the game, gets out of a game. Not enough snaps for me to understand if he is going to be a regular contributor at least this week. So we might take Donovan Jeter with a grain of salt. So that's the defensive line depth chart. I have been told Mazi Smith has passed Ben Mason. You see it at the bottom of the screen. So I've got him as the backup. And don't come out there when Carlo Kemp and Mazi Smith are in the field at the same time. You can't. You lying son of a bitch, Yoder. You said he was the backup to Carlo Kemp. Look, positions are very fluid on Michigan. You see Dax Hill playing nickel cornerback, then safety. You see Aiden Hutchinson line up his hand on the ground, standing up. Don Brown will put players where he feels the best position. So you might see 3 defensive tackles on the field at the same time. You might see Chris Hinton go on the outside if Aiden Hutchinson needs a breather and Michael Dana needs a breather. Whatever it is, they are in the top 8 defensive lines, those 2 true freshman players. And that is the Michigan Football Report here on a Friday with 27 and a half hours left to go to the game against Iowa. Thanks so much for watching, folks. We've got a day left to get to the game against Iowa, the game of the century of the week in Ann Arbor. Before the game, go ahead and watch our Wednesday Michigan Football Rumor Show and our Thursday Michigan Football Rumor Show. And before October 10th, hit this subscribe button or you will never be able to watch this amazing program again. Go Blue.